Hello and welcome to the season opening round of the 2018 AARO Amp Energy Racing Series here at the Livonia Raceway for the Livonia 200 in Livonia, Michigan. I can't say Livonia many more times than that in one sentence. And we were originally slated to start at 1 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, but unfortunately Mother Nature decided to intervene on those plans, and we had to push the start back just a little bit. Tarps obviously went over the cars. This was shortly after the rain had started, but eventually we were able to get clear weather, and Kane Dwyer making his debut, one of the top prospects in the league. Green flag. We are out and underway. He leads us to the start. Kane Dwyer, one of the top prospects in the AARS. Seth McGuire to his outside, Nate Smith in third, Jack Jefferson starting fourth, and Tyler Diefer, the defending winner of this race, in position number 5. And Dwyer holding his own so far. Nate Smith trying to take a peek, but Dwyer able to lead the first lap. Seth McGuire, as we mentioned, making his debut. He's been a prospect in the JNN system for quite a long time now, and he is finally getting his shot at AARS glory. Jordan Tipson in the 18 car here for Chautier Motorsports. Ashton Short alongside him in the 19, and James Rodin in the 31, that black car with the Toyota logo on the hood, making their debuts. Bo Phillips in car number 15, ALNT runner-up, I believe. Stephen Cortez, 2017 runner-up. Stephen Cortez in the 96 in the back there, and Guy Bounier in the 62 car, running about 40th. While Madison Vermette, another debutante, driving for Kenny Gerald's Incorporated, takes the lead here on lap number 6 from Tyler Diefer. Car number 20 always seems to have a knack for doing well, and he's certainly continuing that today, as he shortly thereafter would make a move back around Madison Vermette to take the lead from him. But a few laps after Diefer would get back out in front, Clyde Lattinger here, lap 15, goes underneath the 20 car to take the lead from him. So Clyde Lattinger, who takes the place of Cody Lochner at Richer Racing now, rebranded from Renaissance Racing, given a 1-year kind of show-me-what-you-got contract. So it'll be interesting to see how Lattinger does with the opportunity he's got. Jerry Richardson eventually got past him, and Michael Carter, the 2015 Series champion, is going to take a peek underneath Richardson and take the lead for himself. So Carter keeping up his very strong, very dominant form in this series, it appears, as on board with Jerry Richardson now getting passed here by Seth McGuire as well for second place. As here we have Richardson getting freight train on the outside. Lester and Lattinger make some contact there, and Lattinger able to save the car. Nice car control displayed right there by the veteran Lattinger, and he's going to come out side by side with Ashton Short. He'll look to maintain a top 5 position here, as Seth McGuire now making a pass on his teammate Carter for the lead. As we mentioned, Seth McGuire has been in the JN system for quite some time. He's spent some time in formerly the Logitech National Tour, and most recently the AAA National Series, and performed solidly there. As we have Ashton Short in second place, trying to track down Tyler Diefer. Guy Bounier in the 62 car, we briefly got to him, and he's unfortunately not going to have much more screen time, as he has his engine fail on him fairly early on lap 32 here. Holiday Incorporated not having a very solid debut, but Bounier, the Montreal native, is going to pull to the inside off of the racing surface, and therefore there was no caution thrown. He was able to be brought back around to the garage and cleanly out of the race. Unfortunate break for him, as Tommy Richard here having a quiet run until Michael Carter decides to turn him around off on the front stretch and into the pit wall there, that tire wall, guarding the pit wall, I should say. And that is going to take Tommy Richard out, and a little bit of patience could have been used to avoid that from Michael Carter. Hello, Nate Smith, running into the back of Jalen Scranton. Maybe got a little too late on the brakes there. Not sure about that. Green pit stops taking place. And, bit of contact between Jack Jefferson there. Jonathan Ringer goes around. So a little bit of contact there between some of these drivers, but overall doesn't look to be too serious for anyone involved. as Tyler Diefer leading to the restart on lap number 41. Sean Glossom, the third of the JN cars to be running inside the top 5 in this race, looking to be the third one to lead today as he approaches Kane Dwyer, who obviously has just gotten around Tyler Diefer. Dwyer running very, very strong in his debut for Skulls Racing. But JN continuing to flex their muscle here this weekend at, I believe, one of their home tracks. Their shop is not based terribly far from Livonia. And speaking of JN Motorsports, Seth McGuire going to make a move underneath his veteran teammate for the top spot. Dwyer heavily pursuing him, showing why he's been very highly touted to be perhaps the best prospect within the last 30 years, and I am not exaggerating when I say that. Dwyer making a move to the lead. Nate Smith has given himself some pretty heavy front-end damage as a result of plowing into the back of Jalen Scranton, and he's going to hold up Seth McGuire ever so slightly, and to the inside goes the 6 on the 83 to put him a lap down. However, the 20 of Tyler Diefer is given a window, given an opportunity here to take the lead, and he's going to pounce on it, making a move to the bottom of the rookie McGuire. Diefer always seeming to fare well here, as we're looking at an aerial shot of Jared Cash in the 0 car. Madison Vermette running in 5th there, that green car in the shot. That is Cash's teammate. And Jared Cash, always been a journeyman driver, never really had terribly much success in the Amp Energy Racing Series, but he manages to pull through, taking the lead on the inside. And there's a slow car. I believe it's Clyde Lattinger. Yes, it is. So unfortunate break. It appears there's a tire down on car number 34, and he was having a nice little run for himself, so that's very unfortunate to see for him. As Ike Durbin in the 86 car, pitting, kicking off green flag pit stops here on lap 117, as you have several more drivers coming in now. As the following lap, lap 118, you see Tyler Diefer, Seth McGuire. I believe that is Zach McRae. No, that's Jared Cash, excuse me. But McRae would actually come out in 2nd there, as the scoreboard shows, to Tyler Diefer once everything cycled back out. So Diefer continuing to show why he's one of the trying to cement his place at Richer Racing, and the caution flag is out here, lap 24. Kane Dwyer might be involved. Michael Carter coming up on him fast. He doesn't realize he's going to be there and merges up into the 39, and Steven Cortez in the 96 making his debut. Former ANS driver gets squeezed into the wall by the 39, who gets hit by the 10. And he barely misses that pit wall at the end. Nice car control by Cortez to keep himself in this one. Had he hit that, his day certainly would have been done. As Tyler Diefer leads to the restart here on lap 29. McRae, Glossom, Cash, and I believe that's Jonathan Ringer in 5th place. And McRae hounding the back of Tyler Diefer here as we are just past the halfway mark. All over the back of him. Kane Dwyer, we saw earlier, McRae's rookie teammate, having a solid run, while McRae finally now getting up to the front of the field, trying to show what he can do for this team. And he is going to make a run underneath the 20 of Diefer here, lap number 140, and cleanly make the move through turns 1 and 2 to take the lead for himself. And Tyler Diefer a few laps later would make another move underneath the 5 of McRae, try and take the lead. Diefer already has a few wins under his belt. McRae does not yet. And what better event for Zach McRae to try and get his first win than the Livonia 200. As Diefer continuing, this battle would stretch out for quite a few laps. Diefer eventually going to make the pass work, but all that side-by-side action would allow Carson Crompton and company to catch up and try and make a move. Well, obviously not close enough yet, but Carson Crompton and Jared Cash trying to make a move for 3rd. That allows them to catch up and maybe contend for this one, as Zach McRae would eventually get around the 20 of Diefer. In lap 149, the rest of the pack has officially caught up, and Jared Cash in the 0 car makes a move to take the lead for himself, as Tyler Diefer here getting freight trained. Still maintaining a top 10 run for sure, but definitely not up as high as he was earlier and would for certain like to be. Jerry Richardson going back to lead with some help from McRae here. And Carson Crompton waiting in the wings to see if any of them make a mistake. Ross Lowry blows up and gets knocked around by Herb Cilantro. That's going to draw our third caution here with just 40 laps to go, and Ross Lowry deciding not to bring the car into the pits. Bizarre decision there. Herb Cilantro, we're looking at the engine goes on the 44 Blue Moon Toyota, and Cilantro didn't have a whole lot of time to react. He did have some, but not enough to where you could necessarily pin that one on him. But Lowry would be the only retirement as a result. Cilantro would receive some pretty hefty damage. Lap number 166, we would have the restart, and McRae gets a very nice jump, definitely thanks to the 83 of Nate Smith getting to the inside and holding up that bottom lane. Here's Kyle Corbett in car number 4. He has some rear end damage, might have been from some pit collision on that Short Racing Technologies Dodge, and he's going to have his engine expire. Unfortunate break for him and the Short Racing Technologies team, the 3 and 4 cars both, of himself and Brian Hensler. I think Hensler missed the race, however. So that is unfortunate for that team. Here's Bo Phillips. He has some pretty hefty damage, possibly from a pit collision. We're not entirely sure. He's going to be put a lap down here, racing these cars a little bit too aggressively. I know you're used to dominating modifieds and not necessarily accustomed to being lapped, but you still need to give respect out there. And we're going 4 wide here with Grant Jacobs, and that's not going to work. A little bit of patience might have helped, but caution number 4 on lap 72, caused by the 40 and the 15 getting together on board with Jacobs. The 15 obviously slowing in the way. Aaron Anderson there in the 85 was on Jacobs' inside. Bo Phillips certainly not making a very good impression on his debut. He finished, I believe, second. In the Logitech National Tour Championship in 2014. Obviously not having a very good pickup from that. Jared Cash leading on the restart. And we have a bit of a log jam here. Ashton Short and Carson Crompton maintaining the middle line. They are going to use Bo Phillips and Herb Cilantro as a pick. Very nice move by Crompton to gain some extra positions. He's in 4th now. Hopefully him and Ashton Short can make a run here to try and track down the 2 leaders. Nate Smith coming up, and Short gets dumped into the pits, I think, yes, and he's definitely not going to have enough time to corral that one back. He's going to impact that pit wall pretty hard. Carson Crompton definitely not, well, that move is definitely not going to be favorable with fans and series officials alike, especially not that 19 team, as Jared Cash making a move underneath McRae. McRae eventually taking it back. You see where this is going. That would be a battle that would go on for several laps. Ashton Short going a lap down here. He might try to impede the 84's progress. I'm sure he's not too happy about this. Short making his debut, traded from Carson Racing to Sam Davids Racing to fill the void that Alan Reed's left when he retired. And definitely not the day that he, not the finish that he was hoping to get, as he cleanly lets Crompton go. I guess he's not willing to give himself any penalties, as Bo Phillips racing the leaders on the outside here. Not exactly the smartest of decisions if you're a lap car. Phillips definitely needing to adapt to being a lap car, but that'll come in time and experience. As Carson Crompton with 4 laps to go, underneath the 5 of Zach McRae. There's Herb Cilantro up in the distance, I believe. Jared Cash is going to follow the 84 through. Yes, that was Herb Cilantro, hampered by the slight damage that he took, and he's going to have to choose a lane. And unfortunately for Carson Crompton and Zach McRae, he's going to choose the outside. This is going to allow Jared Cash and Kane Dwyer, Casey Lester as well, into 3rd, and Jonathan Ringer up into 4th place. Deefer looks like he might be able to take over 5th, but Jared Cash is out in front as they come to the white flag. Kane Dwyer's on his back bumper. Can the rookie phenom make a move through any of the final 3 corners now? 2, as we're exiting turn number 2. Doesn't look like it. Cash gets a nice run off the corner, and it looks like he's going to be able to cruise onto this one. Jared Cash, the journeyman driver for several years, is finally going to get it done. He gets his first career win at the Livonia 200, the season opening event. What a way to kick off your tenure with Kenny Gerald's Incorporated in their 3rd car. Jared Cash understandably ecstatic over the radio as he does burnouts on the front stretch, and who can really blame him? What a fantastic drive that he had all day. Not exactly the most prominent driver at the front, but he was at the front when it mattered the most. Congratulations to him and that entire team. And so Jared Cash takes out his first career win. That turned out to be his first career win. It feels so weird saying that, as he's been around the series for such a long time and such little success that he's been able to accrue to this point. Finally able to get his first career win in the season opening race here in Livonia. Kane Dwyer on debut, second place for Skulls Racing, and perhaps that's one of their best finishes as a team. I don't believe that they have a win to their name yet. Casey Lester finishing in third place in the Drivers' Championship in 2014. Jonathan Ringer in fourth place, continuing a stellar tenure so far at JN Motorsports. Zach McCrae in fifth, making both of Skulls Racing's cars into the top 5. Tyler Diefer in sixth, defending winner of this race, not able to repeat the same performance. Carson Crompton drops down to seventh. He might have some words from the AARO officials as a result of that incident with Ashton Short in the closing stages there. Kent Grosso with a very, very quiet run, coming home in 8th place. Seth McGuire drops to 9th, but still a top 10 run on debut. Can't complain about that. And Jack Jefferson, who started in 4th place, had a quiet run all day. He comes home in 10th. Given that this is the first race of the season, the points will look remarkably similar to the race results and won't necessarily need to be recapped here. We might need to recap them at the second race of the season, the Ford 200 at the Boston International Speedway next week. I'm Robert Carell, and I'll see you next time.